folks, Bear here for Bear Trail Backcountry once again. Thanks for tuning in to this special Algonquin Canadian adventure episode. I'm just about 20 minutes or so from my jump off point, where I will be picking up my permits, and we'll be on my way. Just doing a quick overnight, well, semi-quick. I will be picking a pretty straightforward route, and gonna be about somewhere in the vicinity of an 8-mile round trip. Pretty timid overall, but it's gonna be a great time. It's a beautiful day out here on this late day in June. Yeah, very excited for this. I've been planning this out for several weeks, and I just had a quick opportunity to make it happen, so here we are. I just passed the main gate, the east gate, and it is beautiful. It is everything you could expect, which we'll be getting a lot more scenery very shortly here, but it is just 100-foot high evergreen trees as far as the eye can see, both sides of the road, and it's just this one road just cuts through the middle of it all. It's just epic beauty. I'm really excited. Definitely starting to get really giddy to get out of the car and start exploring. But yeah, once we get the car parked, get the permits, and get my bag all shouldered up and everything, in just a few more minutes here, I will check back in once we're on the trail. Stay tuned, guys. Well, good afternoon again, folks. As you can no doubt tell by my huffing and puffing, I am well on my way to the Highland Backpacking Trail in Algonquin Park, Ontario, Canada. It's very peaceful out here, and I know there's other hikers just up yonder from me, so I'm trying to talk quietly. So as you can see, it's a beautiful day out here. Sun popped right out just as I was parking the car. Feeling great. Really excited to be out here today for sure. And like I said, I don't have too far of a hike today. We're gonna hike up to Provoking Lake up here. Have a very minimal camp setup, which we'll get into a quick loadout of that once I get to camp. But going with a slightly different setup this time. Doing a small haversack for quick access stuff on the trail, in combination with my very small Italian military rucksack. I'm very light and fast on this overnight. Whole kit's about 18 pounds. And it's gonna make for a nice quick camp setup and more enjoyment. But I'll try to get some footage of the scenery, and we'll check back in on the trail frequently. Beautiful, warm and breezy up here. I don't know if you can see through the evergreens there. I believe that's Starling Lake. Really good panoramic view of Starling and the surrounding area. But we are continuing on. Well, serves me right. I wore these thin, just everyday socks instead of my merino wool, nice thick hiking socks, and I've already developed quite a hot spot in my heel, which is not quite a blister. Well, it's not a blister yet, but if I keep walking on it, it won't be any better. So I'm gonna put just a couple of bandages on that. I have an adhesive ace wrap that I'm gonna wrap on it too, and then put the sock back over it to create a little bit more of a cushion, as my other socks would have done. But just a little preventative maintenance on the old heel. I hear a waterfall just over the bend that we'll check out as soon as I get myself fixed up here. Well, I guess that's the point of no return. As if I wasn't already committed, right? Sun went away, and there's a cool breeze blowing across the forest, but it's rather nice actually. Boy, oh boy, I wish I had my canoe for this. We've been hiking next to this completely still water river for a little while now. It's beautiful. It would be a great paddle, and I'm pretty sure a Algonquin canoe trip is going to be in my future, because I've already kind of fallen in love with this place. So always a new adventure in the works. All the times I've been to Canada, something I always find out in the wilderness is big slabs of granite sticking out everywhere. Or at least I think it's granite. But just this particular looking rock seems to immediately remind me of that classic Canadian wilderness. We just did a real good bit of elevation gain, and we're continuing upward. I stand corrected. This is now Starling Lake. We're pretty much getting into the last third of the hike. Headed back into the woods that way. Well, folks, this is my view for the night. Not too shabby, not too shabby at all. If you can see, I don't know if you can. But there's actually, I just saw a couple people walking around on that island out there, which means they must have portaged in from a different lake with a canoe. Jealous. I want to camp out on that island. But yeah. Beautiful, beautiful weather, feeling good. Got here about 10 minutes ago. I've just been sitting and relaxing, drinking some water, looking for a place to put up my ridge line for my tarp. It's going to be kind of tough for that. I wanted to utilize the fire pit for warmth tonight, but it doesn't really look possible. But I'll check back in and we'll do a quick process of me setting camp up. What are you doing out there, Mr. Loon? Oh, see ya. Man, he was under for a long time. I've been waiting here for like 3 minutes to try to film him. Maybe he'll get up closer in a little bit. Okay, this is the finished product for the night. As you can see, as far as my loadout goes, I went super extremely ultralight. Emergency space blanket as ground tarp, thermarest on that, and 2 emergency bivvies on top of that. I don't even know. I mean, we're talking ounces. I bet you it probably is barely more than a pound for that complete ground tarp and sleep system. Definitely not the most durable, long-lasting thing, but I wanted to give it a whirl to see how plausible it is for a quick ultralight overnight, and I feel like it's going to be okay. Something new I'm trying out here, like just a aluminum Boy Scouts 5-piece kit, and I actually have half of my food stuffed in there as well, as far as my cooking and bush pots. And next on the agenda, oh, and I might have saw from the time lapse, I built a tripod to outrigger the other end of my ridge line for the tarp. And look at that beautiful backdrop. Wind's coming right off the lake, so I figured it was better if I put my back to the wind for this tarp setup. But as for here, you can see I got a nice rock here, and I'm going to build a long fire right in front of it. And it'll kind of act as a little reflective wall for the heat, in case I need it in the night. And I'm going to do a 3-log long fire. There's some stuff laying around the campsite, so I'm going to try to do what I can with that, and I'll start working on that next. Okay, so this is what we got, and for some of you that might not know, this is a Scandinavian long fire 3-log system, and you can see I got 1-2 sticks sticking up, and then 1-2 sticks sticking up on that end. So this is packed full of small tinder and a ton of birch bark. So the idea is you light all this tinder in the center, and it burns up onto the top log, and then it kind of traps all the heat and flame underneath, and then it also starts burning down onto the two bottom logs as well. And so that it just kind of self-contains the heat very intensely right to the center of the logs, and it lasts for hours if you can keep it going. But and then the top log just sinks down in between the bottom two logs. So we'll wait till it gets a little bit darker and around dinner time, and I'm gonna light it once and hopefully it works out. But for right now, I'm gonna probably take a little nap. All the hard work is done and it's wonderful out here. Still can't get over that view. And how calm, quiet, and peaceful it is out here. Well, it's a few minutes after 6 o'clock. I'm kind of I just had to take care of the call of nature. I'm kind of in the middle of just a little evening siesta still. I might purify some more water and just relax some more still. I'm still gonna wait it out to light the fire. I try to start it as late as possible. But I'm loving it. I'm having a great time out here, folks. So, with all this beauty in front of me, staring out at the lake, and how perfect of a day it is, and how good of a campsite I got, there is exactly two things about this whole excursion so far that I despise. Number one, the mosquitoes. It is what it is. I still don't have to like them, but I'm trying to deal with them the best I can. Second is, like 300 yards away across the bay, a group of 14 people showed up. Of course, now that I take my camera out and actually try to get a clip of it, they quiet down, but they literally for the past 10 minutes were hooting and hollering and really killing the vibe. But it is what it is. I didn't see anyone or hear a peep. I was definitely out on the west side of Provoking Lake here, alone, for sure, for the first few hours that I've been here. But I got company now, serious company. So hopefully it's still peace and quiet, but we'll see how it goes. It's luck of the draw. It's hard to stay mad though when you can just come out here and stare at miles and miles of beauty. This is a real treat. This is some serious beautiful country out here. First time I've made my way up here, and it's definitely not going to be the last. Alright folks, it is just about dark. I think I've waited long enough, and it's time to get this fire cracking. Hopefully this strikes well. I want to get it to going over this side a little more. I think we got her. Well, little update from when we talked last. I did get the long fire going, and I think I just had the logs too spaced apart, and I used mostly pine, which burnt really hot and really fast, so I had just about enough flame to quickly warm up some spaghetti and bannock, and I scarfed down a quick dinner. But as far as using the fire for any kind of warmth throughout the night, it's barely has a few embers going, but it burnt right out real quick, so it's not supposed to get too cold. And I got a couple different emergency blankets to use in conjunction with each other, so I should be all right tonight. But so the first go at a long fire was kind of a flop, but practice makes perfect. We'll try again another day, but we're pushing 10 o'clock now, and I think that's all for me tonight, folks. We'll hit it in the morning, and I don't know, we'll see. The area's really picked over as far as wood material, so I might skip out on breakfast and just start hiking up out of here tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see what the morning brings. Good night, folks. I'll catch up with you in the morning. Well, good morning. It's about 5:30, and feeling good. It's a little cool out right now. It said it was going to get into like the mid to upper 40s overnight, and it feels like that's about right. We slept really good. So double emergency blanket sleep system worked out fine. The bugs are out already, even though it's a little cooler, but the ultralight sleep system that I put together for this trip worked out real good. Kept me nice and warm. One thing that you'll hear people talk about with these cheapo emergency blankets, which is also a problem that I did come across, was you will get a little bit of condensation on the inside of the bag of this outer one. That's why I have the inner bivy that is a breathable layer, so that helped a lot to the point where it didn't really affect me at all. So you pretty much have to use the two, a breathable bivy and then emergency blanket bivy on the outside. Combo of those two will keep you warm and dry relatively enough so it won't bother you at all. But no, it worked out good, and I'm excited to get back on the trail. I'm feeling pretty good. I think I might just break down camp, take a few pictures, and just get right on out of here. I don't really feel like gathering up wood to make a fire to cook breakfast, and I have snacks and whatnot in the car, which is only, about 4 miles away, so we'll go that route. But yeah, feeling good, excited, and I'll be getting up pretty shortly here and starting to break down camp. Well, I just broke out of my nice warm cocoon to get some footage of the loons. Well, the loon calls in the morning anyway. Look at that, just like glass. Did you hear it? I love that distant call of a loon. Little shelter, feared pretty good. I think it's almost time to start breaking down camp. Well, you can see I got camp broke down pretty quick. Probably 10 minutes or less, which is the beauty of going with this light kit. This is pretty much all ready to go. Kind of hard to leave though. Beautiful spot. I'll try to get some footage back on the trail on the way out. Thank you, campsite. Hopefully we'll see you again in the future. Just walking along with nothing but the birds singing and the rustling of the leaves. Beautiful, calm morning. Sun's starting to peek out over some of the trees. I think it's going to be a beautiful day. It's a wonderful day to be alive and on the trail, folks. But I have many miles to go still. Up and down, up and down. All the reviews I read about the Highland Trail in Algonquin Park said that it was one of the more rugged and challenging trails in the park. And it's definitely got an Adirondack high peak feel. Coming back into a conifer forest area. Lots of different terrain, lots of cool stuff. Swamps, marsh, conifer stands, hardwood stands, rocks, more rocks. Oh, different kinds of stuff. Really cool. I definitely can't wait to come back. Doesn't get more beautiful than that, folks. Well, here we are again. I'm at the highest point of the trail. That's Pee Wee Lake, I believe, which I originally thought was Star Lake. Or, oh no, that's Mew Lake. Mew Lake, excuse me. I believe this is the highest point. And we're very close to the parking area, but I figured I'd just take a quick stop and appreciate the pristine beauty out here. Loving it. Okay. Rapidly approaching the end, folks. As you can no doubt hear the car and vehicle traffic. Sounds like the time has come. Oh, I totally just swallowed a huge mosquito. Blech. And there she is. Pepper the adventure wagon. About to take me home. Well, take me to the next Canadian adventure. Well, hello again there, folks. I just wanted to shoot a little recap video. Try again to shoot a little recap video from my Algonquin trip. I actually did shoot a wrap-up video as I was driving away, but the audio and the footage became incredibly hard to interpret. There's wind noise. I was driving with my windows down, and it just wasn't going to work out. So I am currently in the parking area of an undisclosed area. where I am working on a new filming project that will be in the works. And I wanted to take a second to officially redo a little recap clip for you and briefly sum up my experience in Algonquin, which was fabulous. The overnight went perfectly. My ultralight camp setup, quick up, down and dirty, no fuss, no muss setup worked really great. It is very plausible to have a comfortable overnight with just a thermarest and a emergency bivy, which I used the Adventure Medical Kits SOL series. Real cheap. I think I spent like 15 or 18 bucks on it. So it's not the most durable, long-lasting thing, but it's plausible to get away with it for a few times before you repair it so many times that it becomes not worth to use it. So, I mean, you know, it is, you get what you get. You want to pay for, you know, you can spend $300 on a good wool blanket that'll last your lifetime. If you're going to be in a base camp for a few days, but if you're a trail hiker like me and you want to be up, down, light, and on the go, maybe doing the emergency bivy thing is in the summer months could be a way to go, which is what I did, and it turned out great for this mission that I was on. As far as Algonquin Park, beautiful. Trail was great, lots of variety in the trail. You know, there's rock scrambling up some granite faces, walking through some mud in the marsh, walking through hardwood stands and conifer stands, and up, down, elevation gain and loss, lots of, a little bit of everything. So it was challenging. It was a good time, and Provoking Lake was beautiful, pristine, abundance of animals and loons. It was great. They do a really good job there. Trails clearly marked. Warning signs are easily read. I can't really think of any drawbacks of the trip. Like I said, the bugs were really bad. It's peak season for that, so that is what it is. You'll get that anywhere. And it is a very popular park. It's pretty accessible by vehicle. So in the summer months, when I did this overnight, you're going to see other people on the trail, and I did see a few people on the trail, but it wasn't as bad until I actually got to my camp at Provoking Lake, where I ran into that crew of 14 people that stayed just across the bay from me. And you know, things like that will happen. It's a very popular park, and they still do a good job, though. As far as distance between campsites is pretty far, so you still can get some peace and quiet and a little bit of privacy, and still get to experience every bit of the tranquil, serene surroundings that you are in central Ontario. But yeah, great experience. Can't wait to go back. I definitely want to plan a canoe trip for there. Actually got my maps coming, and we'll be doing maybe in the fall we'll be doing a Canadian canoe trip. But had a great time. I got to get working on this new project. We have a few things coming up with Haskell Forge and Bear Trout Backcountry. We are in the process of planning a Adirondack canoe trip, a multi-day canoe trip. We'll be doing a special episode in the coming weeks. We're in the processes of planning that out, and lots of projects always coming in and out of Haskell Forge, so just keep checking our Instagrams and the YouTube, and we'll keep it updated. And this is Bear signing out for Bear Trout Backcountry and Haskell Forge, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.